people outside of Oklahoma expected them to have that many wins.
Not a lot of people inside Oklahoma.
Yeah. Good point. Hey, taking a look at the highlights, Chris Paul, one of the main reasons they are in playoff contention, sitting in the 7th seed in the Western Conference, visiting San Antonio. There's DeRozan, but the Spurs dictating the first half. Tough juice.
Hey, that was a tough move right there. You see DeRozan sticking the hand out, still being able to finish. And look at that. The kick out, knocking down shots on the perimeter. DeRozan was on one. Look at that.
Is Compton in the house without a doubt. He's the baller with clout everybody's talking about. But then L.A. from downtown, 22-11. And more DeRozan. He had 30 in the game, GA.
I mean, he can still get it done offensively. The question is, can this Spurs team turn the corner and start playing with some consistency?
Talking about turning the corner, I think SGA has begun to do that at this point.
He's one of the best finishers in basketball around the basket. I'm going to put him second to Kyrie Irving.
Oh,
he's active.
Wow.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, without dunking? Oh, absolutely.
A little aggressive right there, but I like where you're going. He had 15 points in the quarter. But Lonnie Walker finally starting to get more consistent playing time. We've seen what he can do in the summer league. Now he's performing in the regular season.
Healthy and getting the opportunity. And, you know, the Spurs right now kind of transitioning, trying to find out who is going to be that next wave of guys that can come in and make an impact.
Are you watching this?
Yes.
He got the floater game, the left hand, the right hand. He's one of the best finishers in the game without dunking. Look at that.
Another finish.
Hold the hand up. Let everybody know, young fella.
Hey, he had 25, 7, and 5 in the game as OKC continues to play well, solidifying their grip on that 7th spot in the Western Conference. Hey, Tough Juice was talking about him. Now we hear from SGA after the game.
We didn't play with the energy we needed to start the decade in the first half. But Coach got on us a little bit and brought that fire out of us. We played a lot better in the second half.
You completely changed the game in that third quarter with the defense. Held them to just 7 of 21 shooting in that quarter. What was the key?
Just our intensity and sticking with the game plan. We know if we do those two things that we can get stops against any team in the league, and it doesn't matter who it is. And we did so in the third quarter and the fourth, enough to get a win.
Shai, you had 15 in that decisive third quarter, scored at all 3 levels of the floor. How are you working out there?
I'm just trusting my work. I'm putting it in every day. Obviously, it's an ups and downs game. You might not make every shot, but just trusting my work and being confident is what I'm focused on.
Last thing for you, you guys won 8 out of 9 now, again finishing in crunch time. Why are you so good down the stretch as a team?
We have players that are willing to make plays all across the board, and we all have confidence in each other. So making plays down the stretch isn't an issue for us.
Wow. Shouts out to Billy Donovan, by the way, the Western Conference Coach of the Month. We saw what Oklahoma City is able to do in the month of December, 11 victories. A lot of people, we talked about that before. We didn't see this coming. So how are they getting this done, having the success they are so far this season?
Look, they're doing it by committee, and they're playing with one another and having fun doing so. Doing a solid job on the defensive end of the floor, but the development of, Alexander, he's doing a remarkable job at getting into the paint, living in the paint. And I think that what's really helping him is playing alongside a guy like Chris Paul. Now, we thought it was going to be just a quick rental situation and Chris Paul will elect to get out of there and it'll be a lot of smoke. But it's been no smoke. And you know what? They're continuing to trend in the right direction and creating havoc for a lot of people in the Western Conference.
I think it's a three-headed monster. You got to throw Dennis Schroeder in there as well.
Man, he is balling.
Because he's been incredible for them. And all 3 of those guys are really good defensively. They're versatile because they can all score it. They can all pass it well. And so the chemistry, though, is what's been most surprising to your point, Tough Juice. The fact that, the 3 guys that typically have the basketball, but yet they figured out a way how to play without it. And that's been the biggest key, I think, to their success, that at any given time they're going to have 2 of those guys comfortable being able to create space, play in space while the other operates, man. And they've been fun to watch. Look, they are a good basketball team. This is not where they're just playing well right now. I think they're really good. And I do think it's going to create some interesting dynamics for Sam Presti moving forward. Like, do we break this up to build for the future, or do we just see what these guys can accomplish here? Gallinari is going to be a free agent after the year. He's going to be a piece that maybe becomes attractive to some teams. So I'm anxious to see how this thing plays out from the Thunder's perspective.
Look, I know it's a touchy thing, but I feel like Coach Donovan, this is the first time in a long time, probably ever, that he's able to realistically have his fingerprints on this team development. He's developing guys, and what he's saying, guys are extremely coachable. Not saying that the guys in the past wasn't, but you can just see that he's super engaged, and that's why he's getting, the praise that he's been receiving.
No question about it. And Dennis Schroeder, by the way, the Thunder are 11-5 when he scores at least 20. They still got the victory. He had 19 tonight. So, still, he's playing outstanding.
We can round up.
We definitely can. New
52
man.
points in the paint.
Jazz Bulls coming to you on your screen as we continue on. And you say Shai City. There's Donovan Mitchell.
The neighborhood Spider-Man.
There he is. And Zach, is he an all-star this season? That remains to be seen. Check out that pass, though.
Fun to watch.
That was an all-star pass.
No question about it.
And finish.
Hey, Rudy Gobert made a business decision right there. Moving right along, Levine from downtown.
And the Bulls starting to show some pulse defensively. They've been much better here the last few weeks and more competitive as well. And that's one reason why I think Market in particular has been the guy that's starting to play much better basketball.
Well, they're right there on the cusp, right there sitting at the edge of the Eastern Conference playoff race down there at the bottom. But the Utah Jazz, right now, Bogdanovich, ooh, nasty. D. Mitch. Now, since Conley's been out over the last 9 games or so, Donovan Mitchell stepped his game up tremendously, playing well. To the fourth quarter we go. Joe Ingles in that starting lineup as well, and he's been effective and efficient, finds Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, look, I think Ingles been the guy for real. Like, when he's having the ball in his hand and distributing it, it's taking a lot of pressure off Donovan Mitchell on the offensive end of the floor.
Basketball IQ is high, but then there is the tie. 3 ball goes down, but Utah knows exactly what to do.